All right, here we go. The final segment of the Cold Topic podcast. Anime Dartboard, the only show on the internet where we dive into the strange ethereal void of my plan to watch list and we pull out a color from space.
Yeah.
I've done better, but I decided to go Lovecraft with that one.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Thank you.
Okay.
This one was Rampo Kitan, Game of Laplace. How'd you feel about Rampo Kitan, Game of Laplace?
I actually enjoyed this show. It was a solid watch. Like, it was only 11 episodes, but the super's voice thing of Shinji. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, like it was paced pretty well. Like, and I like that the story like culminates within the episode within by the end, and like they kind of started in like episode 3 or 4, I think, like that, and then you get that ending in episode 11, which was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of goes through it all.
So you've seen the whole thing. I need to ask you this question because maybe you saw something I missed. Why in the ending credit scene of the final episode is the teacher in a cast?
I don't know.
Excuse me. Because we know she jumped out of the window, but when she jumped out of the window, she came back wearing bandages. Yeah. So we know it wasn't from jumping out of the window. So, like, the fuck?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right. As long as I thought, I was like, did I miss this? What the fuck happened here?
Yeah, like because I was watching and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah,
like, whatever.
I didn't fucking understand what happened. Yeah, I did not like this. Actually,
you didn't. Okay.
I didn't. Now, granted, I think that there are some real interesting implications here with the show, like how the police are becoming increasingly more ineffective, or the concept of a sort of crime-defeating Laplace demon. The fact that the main character is just clearly a fucking psychopath. I thought like there's clearly some interesting ideas here. I just feel like they weren't particularly executed well, and I think part of the problem has to do with the amount of time that was given. They had one episode to resolve the plot lines that they introduce in that episode, and it just does not give them enough time to set up the mystery. Like, by the time the mystery has been solved, it's like 2 seconds after the mystery was introduced. So it doesn't give time for the show to breathe. And it makes most of the episodes kind of like really like lag behind, sort of. Not lag behind. It makes the episodes sort of they're unsatisfying. Like, when you find out who a killer is at the end of an episode, you don't feel like you took the time and the journey to investigate it. It's just like, here's the crime, here's the killer. Here's the crime, here's the killer. Here's the crime, here's the killer. Like, there's no time for you to like figure it out or collect the clues. You know, there's no investigation in this mystery show. So I think it really fails on that aspect.
Yeah, I think where they did it the best was honestly the first 2 episodes, because like you have 2 episodes kind of like meet these characters and kind of figure out what's going on, like why he was blamed for this and stuff like that, and then like it ends with figuring out who it was. Then you have the other 2-parter, which is the one on the island, where like halfway through the second episode, she's just like, yeah, it was me.
It was me.
And I'm like, okay, and what are you gonna do for the rest of the episode? And then they kind of go into the.
You thought it was Dio, but it was me, Johnny Joestar. Shout out to anyone who actually got that reference.
I did.
Did you? Did you really get the reference, or do you think you got the reference? Because I wasn't referencing JoJo Part 1.
Oh. Then no.
That's what I thought. You will be able to get that joke when they decide to animate JoJo Part 7.
Fair. And I'll have to wait even longer because I need to wait for the English dub because I'm a cock.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, they confirmed Stone Ocean. So JoJo's going to Florida. Hope you look forward to Florida JoJo.
Flojo.
But yeah, so I think there was some really good ideas here. I just feel like the show didn't have time to breathe or explore them. Yes. No, he's like 50 or something. He's a literal like dad to like a 20-year-old in JoJo. No, in part 7? No, you're thinking of part 6, Maid. You're thinking of part 6. Jotaro's not in part 7. Anyway, yeah, they had some really good ideas in the show, but I just feel like they didn't deliver or had time to develop on them. And a lot of it was like really poorly handled. I think I said on the discussion for Dartboard itself that I feel like the moments of brilliance the show does have are specifically from the work, because this is based on the works of Edogawa Rampo. I feel like that is where the moments of brilliance are coming from, is from his original works. And everything else where it fails is just like the show itself failing, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
I made the comparison on my Discord that it's like they did Sherlock Holmes, but they compressed all of it into just the story of like the final situation where Holmes fights Moriarty. Like, it's like they did all of the works of Sherlock Holmes and just shoved it into that one story. And that's kind of what this felt like. Like, I felt like it could have gone places, but it just didn't. And I didn't understand the main character's motivation at the end to, like, kill himself. Like, the guy's just like, hey, we're trying to create a big revolution and, you know, stop all crimes and shit. And the main character's like, oh, I guess I'll just kill myself then. I'm on board with that. And that didn't feel in character. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it did seem kind of like, yeah, like you were about to say, like out of character for him.
It felt out of character because he doesn't care about people. I mean, his fucking teacher got murdered and he's like, whatever. Fuck people. I just want to be entertained. And like, for a character whose whole goal is to be entertained by solving crimes, it seems like if there are no more crimes, his goal is defeated. And if he's dead, he doesn't get to solve any more crimes. Like, he seems content in his own psychopathy throughout the whole series, that the idea of him like killing himself to end crime just did not fit with him. Like, I didn't get it.
Yeah, the last 2 episodes, I just like, that's kind of where I was like, because it didn't feel like a good ending.
Yeah.
I mean, it made sense like story wise, because like they've been talking about like I can't remember his name, but like the guy, like how he died in like the explosion or the fire or whatever. Like I was like, okay, he's gonna come back at the end of the show, and lo and behold, he did.
Yeah.
I think like what I liked more about the show is more so just like the character interactions and stuff like that. I love Shadow Man. I don't know why. I just
dog. Nobody gonna hate on Shadow Man.
I love Shadow Man. He's the best. Like, episode 3 is probably my favorite one, just because like they introduced him, and then like he's a reoccurring character too, which was really nice.
His whole arc kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, though, because that fucking the pedophile man never gets his cut. Well, I mean, he gets stabbed at the end, but it just feels like he never really gets his comeuppance. Oh, yeah, that is another fucking thing that bothers me about this show. Japan has a fucking like 99% conviction rate. I know that's one of the big plot points in Persona 5, so I'm sure you know that. The game did not make that up. But in this show, it kind of, maybe this is because it was inspired in the 40s. Maybe this was how Japan used to work when when Edogawa Rampo was actually writing. But this is not Japan's current legal system. Like, there's a 99% conviction rate. You bring a court case in front of a Japanese jury, and they've done surveys on this. They believe it is their legal responsibility to convict 100% of the time. The police use very shady tactics to get their confessions. It is a completely corrupt legal system. And I looked into it because the big claim is that it's not necessarily once they go to court, it's that the case will be thrown out due to measures of insanity. So I looked at the odds of a case getting thrown out due to insanity, or being brought to court in insanity. And in America, there's I think it's 1 in 400 court cases go to court under an insanity charge, and of that, only like 1 in 2,000 actually like go through on an insanity charge. That's America. Obviously, this takes place in Japan. So you might ask, okay, how many court cases and those numbers might be a little off, but the point is, it's very low. It's a lot lower than you think it is. Like media will portray that like, oh, I can just get off on insanity. No, it's really hard to get off on insanity. But that's America. What about Japan, where the whole idea is that you can get off on insanity no matter what? You're a crazy person, right? 1 in 500,000. Like, it's 100 times more than America in order to get off on insanity in Japan. So the whole idea, it's like, oh, it's a revolving door. You just say you're crazy in Japan. Nope. You are fucked in Japan. Do not commit a crime in Japan. You are going to jail.
I'll remember that when I go over there.
Yeah, so I just felt like the whole like idea of the revolving door that the show brings up kind of like killed my suspension of disbelief about it. I thought the show could have been great. I thought it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it was more like just like it wasn't as bad as other stuff that we watched. Like, I was like, okay, you know, this is like I can watch this. You know, it's not like. Oh, what is the first one? Magical
Warfare?
Yeah,
well, I will remind you that last time we calculated that, at least as far as my approvals go, there's a 52% approval rate, and yours is actually slightly higher because you generally like the shows more than I do.
Yeah, most of the times, yeah.
So you're looking at 55 to 60% of hits?
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's just the first two were so bad, it's just stuck in your brain. It's the first impression outweighing all of the other results.
Yeah. No, but I thought the show could have benefited from probably like 20 to 24 episodes instead of the 11 they got.
Yeah, bring this to a full 24 episodes. You might have something on your hands.
Like, even when I saw that it was 11, I was like, that's kind of short. Like, I feel like even if they had like 3 or 4 more episodes, like there are a couple things could have been resolved and there could have been some more character development, and like it did feel kind of rushed. Like when I saw the episode count was 11, I was like, that's either a good or a bad thing.
That's a bad thing. When a show is under a 12 episode count, it is usually because an episode had to get cut, either for controversy or because they ran out of budget.
Which is weird because this show really delves into some topics, so. To have an episode get cut, kind of like, what did they put in?
I'm just saying that's what normally has. There's nothing on Mal about an episode being cut, but it's also citing Wikipedia, so I don't know. I just can't imagine that a studio would be like 11 episodes. So my guess is budget.
Yeah.
The show is made on the dime. Like, some frames of this are just still shots for like 3 minutes. So
yeah, like during the first episode, like when they have everyone kind of blacked out too, I thought it was like a neat idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start using like mannequins in like the later episodes for like random people. Mm-hmm. I was like, did they just not have money to like animate these people?
Okay, I think I can actually explain that, because I think what is being done there is, it reminded me a lot of an anime series called Monogatari. Which I recommend to everyone who isn't John, because there's no dub version of Monogatari, and they can barely do a subbed version because it's based on a novel series that is designed to be exclusively a novel series, so it's really hard to adapt. So the anime barely does it in Japanese. It's very similar to the style of Monogatari, where they portray the main character, this is very common, just not paying attention to the people around him, which is something that occurs in the novels. The way the anime shows that is that when he's walking through the streets, it's completely fucking empty. Because it's sort of doing like a film trick of like narratively portraying the fact that he doesn't care or like notice other people. But then when other characters who do notice people, you see that there are background characters. So there's also the incest toothbrushing. Monogatari is very good if you can read subtitles. But maybe. Yeah, it reminded me a lot of like the same techniques that are used in Monogatari. in that regard, where there are people there and they're noticing them, but, from the main character's lens, he's just not paying attention to them, which is also where he loses. The main character's like blurring people out is clearly from his perspective based on noticing people he finds interesting. So that's why his class is completely blurred out until one of the killers shows up, and then you notice that she appears to be an actual physical person that he can notice. And he ignores the teacher when she first walks in. She's blurred until he shakes her hand and she notices that she has like self-harm like cuts all across her wrist, and then she pops into existence because she instantly became more interesting. And then when his like friend was like nagging at him about going to class, his friend blurred out as he just like phased his friend out of his head. So it's an interesting trick. I think Seiji Kishi might have worked on a Monogatari or something like that. I think he's worked with Shaft. He hasn't, and I'm fucking wrong. But anyway, yeah, so it's a trick I've seen before. I thought it was a very interesting portrayal. So I'm actually glad you brought that up. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I thought it was super interesting. Like, that's what kind of like hooked me at first. I'm like, okay, this is like a different. I haven't seen this before on any show, so I was like, okay, this is kind of neat. Like the way, like you were saying, like people just kind of are phased out and then they phase in when they interact with the character and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool, like a really cool thing. And then like the mannequins and stuff like later, because they're just unnamed people that have no purpose to the plot. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a trick that I see employed by like Shaft most often as far as it comes to anime, but I've also seen like real Hollywood films, like artsy Hollywood films, do the similar trick of blurring people like that. But so it's definitely one of the like, it's clearly the director working with what he has and trying to show the best like a lot of visual metaphors in this show. Is what I will say.
Yeah, there is.
So it's clearly the director trying to get his point across with what is very clearly a fucking, like, handful of dollars and a stick of gum. So in that regard, he managed to piece together, a solid show with a shoestring budget.
I mean, I didn't hate it.
I'd have liked to have seen more money and more time.
Yeah, like if they could double the episode count, like do like 22 to 24 episodes, like I feel like that would have.
It would be 24 to 26 with anime.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it would have been. It would. I think would have made the show exponentially better. And if I could have got like a 3-episode arc, which is just Shadow Man, I would have been totally fine with that.
Oh, dog, just you know what? Cut every character, just Shadow Man, only Shadow Man.
The Shadow Man spinoff.
Or just read the books is also a good one. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure all of the outside of the like direction, I'm pretty sure all the moments of brilliance of this came from the books. So
it was solid.
That's about all I had to say. You want to give it a score? Which is the thing we do sometimes.
I'm gonna do 6.5.
6. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I give it a 4 out of 10.
Fair.
All right. So here we go. Let's spin the wheel.
Also, I did put a new fight suggestion in the Discord, by the way.
Oh, did you? Okay. Because, you first off, you said you were going to add a thing to your Discord about it, and I don't think you ever did, so we're running real low on these suggestions.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought I did.
So we're basically Cinnabites versus God Hand, or Dante versus Sora, or I guess whatever yours is. I also thought of one myself, but I didn't want to back them like that, which is that I'll probably put on there at one point, which is I've also already researched this: Captain America versus Solid Snake.
Ooh, I actually really like that one.
Super Soldier versus Super Soldier, yeah.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
That's all. What I wanted to do is I noticed all of them were just complete stomps. I wanted to create one that's like really close. I wanted to make a debate. Anyway, here we go. Shuffle. Shuffle. Auntie Sack needs a new pair of shoes. Give me something. Give me something. Okay. Alright. Is this what I think it is? Alright. Let's see what this is. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Alright. I'm okay with this. Alright. Let me get this up on screen now. So this is an interesting idea. Because it's basically it's basically gender swapping a genre.
Go on.
Okay, so here we have it. We have Oharu X Kikanju, or Oharu X Machine Gun. This is a summer 2015 anime done by Brainbase, directed by Hideaki Nakano. This is not Hideaki Anno. This is Hideaki Nakano. I want to be clear. It's not the legend himself, who also did something called Devil's Line. Servamp. And they did Devil's Line and Servamp. So that's cool. Let's see. The genres are action, comedy, and sports, and it's licensed by Sentai Filmworks, so we might have to dig around for this one. Alright, so let's see. Oharu X Kikinanju, or Oharu X Machine Gun. Hotaru Tachibana has a strong sense of justice and just cannot help confronting those who choose to perform malicious acts. Furthermore, Hotaru is actually a girl. Oh. Never mind. This wasn't subversive at all. Who disguises herself as a boy. After hearing rumors that her best friend was tricked by this popular host of a local club, Hotaru seeks to punish the evildoer. Upon arriving at the club, she is challenged to a so-called survival game by the host Masamune Matusoka, where the first person hit by the bullet of a toy gun will lose. After a destructive fight, which results in Hotaru's loss, Masamune forces the young boy to join his survival game team named Toy Gun Gun in order to repay the cost of the damages that he has caused inside the club. Although she initially unhappy with this turn of events, Hotaru quickly begins to enjoy what survival games have to offer and is determined to pay off her debt, much to the dismay of Toru Yokimura, the other member of the Toy Gun Gun. As time goes on, Hotaru begins to develop a close friendship with the rest of the team and hopes to take part in realizing the dream of winning the Top Combat Game, TCG. TCG stands for Trading Card Game, for the record. A tournament decided the best survival game team in Japan. Although Hotaru tries her best, there are just two little problems. She is absolutely terrible at the game, and Toy Gun doesn't allow female members on her team. This has an average score of 7.18. Okay, so that is where I'm just going to say Machine Gun.
Sounds interesting.
So, alright, here's the thing about Machine Gun. And I know exactly why I added this one. I have discovered that there is an entire subgenre in shoujo anime, shoujo manga. Although this says it's a shonen. But there's an entire shoujo subgenre about girls shooting each other with guns.
Okay.
I don't know why this subgenre exists, but it totally super exists. And so my experience with this subgenre of survival game shoujo anime, this is shonen, so who knows, is that they're actually usually really entertaining. So I actually have my hopes for this one. Segebu is fucking top tier anime. You want to talk about a main character that's a fucking psycho? Watch Sagebu. But Yeah, so I actually have my hopes for this. I think this could actually be a good one. I've just because I've yet to see a bad anime in this genre. I don't know.
I'm just posting the rules in my thing.
Oh, are you? Yeah. Well, what do you think? What do you think about Machine Gun? How you feeling? Maid thinks it sounds bad.
I mean, we'll see, right? I have to watch it regardless.
Yeah. I like how usually everyone's like, or it could be bad. This could be okay. This is like think first time where I'm like, oh, I have high expectations. Everyone else is like, no, nobody has high. Only you. This is the reverse of every other time we've done this. It's like only I have high expectations. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll probably watch this when I'm done watching Ascendance of a Bookworm.
I will watch it. Is it a movie or a show?
Oh, you are correct. I fucked up. This has 12 episodes.
Okay. So I will watch it probably a couple days before, like normal.
It's licensed by Sentai, so I'm not sure who has it. But you can find it if you look around.